Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak, double honors be unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, hopeful who like that to push not this word of thought, truth, and sincerity to all you welcome and say Shalom. I'm the accurate eye from the servants of Yahweh Yahushai Cam coming in with a quick video based off of this article entitled 66-year-old man says he was banned from donating blood after refusing to answer if he was pregnant. Alright, so reading on with the article, a 66-year-old Scottish man who has donated blood for years says he was turned away after refusing to answer if he was or had been recently pregnant, which, logically speaking, a man cannot get pregnant, man. Alright, the Lord didn't ordain a man to be pregnant. Alright, it was by way of a woman to be pregnant. Alright, as a matter of fact, if you can receive it, woman. Alright, because you come out of a womb, and the woman has a womb. Alright, not the man. So going on, it says according to the Daily Wire, Leslie Sinclair, which Leslie Sinclair is a man. If I'm mistaken, it is a man, but that word Leslie is of Scottish origin, basically meaning a garden of holly, if I'm not mistaken, which, back in the day was a unisex name, basically neutral. So it was a boy and girl name, but not exclusively given to girls. That's why it's trending amongst females, man. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually a man. And it says Leslie Sinclair has donated over 125 pints of blood in the last half century, according to the Daily Mail. But when he most recently showed up to do his part to save lives, he says he was told to fill out a form asking if he was or had been pregnant any time within the past 6 months. I indicated to the staff that I could not be in this position, but they told me that I must answer, otherwise I would not be able to donate blood. Sinclair, the Central Skull Antenna Sterling, told the Daily Mail. Alright, so to first start it off, I want to get out the book of Isaiah, the 10th chapter, verse 1. And because of some of the point, that's an unrighteous decree right there. All right, why the hell are you gonna enforce a ridiculous question like that? And if they don't answer, if the patient, basically the consumer doesn't want to answer it, prevent him from doing his part to save lives. All right, why would you do that? See, that's the mentality of Esau. Edom. He's nothing but a child. He can't think straight on his own. The thing is, he doesn't take heed to counsel. All right, he rather boast and speak out of his own mouth and just say a whole manner of folly and do whatever he says. All right, what he says goes, even though it's like retarded, if you will, man. All right, because Esau's like backwards, man. But going on, says Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, because we'll start off right there. That word woe basically means death and destruction. All right, the death and destruction be upon you, Edomites. Here it is. You guys are the top notch right now. As of right now, you guys are over us. All right, and the thing is, you guys don't care about humanity. You care more about a stupid question like that than helping people out. Helping humanity out. And the thing is that Esau, being in power, he's supposed to care for the lives of the civilians, man. All right, you're always supposed to take care of your the lower ranks. All right, like in the standard kingdom, you would have the peasants. Hey, although they were abused and whatnot, hey, they were still taken care of. All right, they were still considered, and that's what that scripture say. I will set one that is profitable. In time I will set a king that is profitable. And that being Yahushua, because he's supposed to be the king of the universe, not Esau. All right, Esau can't be a god. All right, he can't even take care of his own. All right, he can't even take care of his own nation. That's where the other apostle Gabar was brought up the point that a while back, you had an interview between one of the Rockefellers and a journalist, and he said, take care of your own family. Don't take care of these people. Don't focus on these people. So we rather reinforce a stupid question like this, which why would you even want to answer that question? And you'd rather reinforce it rather than actually help at humanity. All right, if you don't answer this question, you ain't gonna be able to donate blood for the lives of people who need it, who depend on it. See, that was ridiculous. And that word ridiculous, basically his philosophy is ridiculous too. All right, because these vain ways of thinking, if you will, they all lead them to death anyways. All right, they only benefit you for so long that hey man, you're through it regardless. But that word ridiculous basically is an adjective meaning worthy of ridicule or contemptuous laughter. From Latin ridiculous, all right, ridiculous, laughable, funny, absurd. All right, from ridere to laugh. All right, because the words they all stem back from ancient words from ancient languages. All right, so in this case, it means worthy of ridicule or contemptuous laughter. Hey, so Esau's nothing but absurd. All right, he's laughable. All right, he's worthy of being mocked. Mocked and made fun of. All right, Esau's something but a child, if you will. So everything that he goes on with is ridiculous. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment. And that's what he does, all right? He's an unjust person, all right? The unjust king, and Habakkuk, the first chapter, goes into there that raise up strife and contention. When it says that word there, it's written in italic, referring to a people, that being the nation of Edom. So to turn aside the needy from judgment and take away the right from the poor, my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. He's nothing but a damn robber and a destroyer. But not going on to the article. It says, I told them that it was stupid. Hey, see, because it really is stupid. I told them, it's really foolish, man. I told them that it was stupid and that if I had to leave, I would not come back, and that was it. I got on my bike and left. Our potential donors are being asked the question in order to promote inclusiveness. I wish that word inclusiveness means the quality of covering or dealing with the range of areas such as the alphabet community, if you will. Or they're trying to integrate, all these freedoms and whatnot, all these, all this equality, so-called equality, if you will, with all these, sects, if you will, sectors, sects, sects, sects of people. And because pregnancy not always visually clear, the Mail reported the United Kingdom's National Health Service is trying to encourage blood donation amid a shortage, and the Scottish National Blood Transfusion Service recently mounted a campaign to recruit 16,000 donors. But I'm gonna end it off right there. The dude, the old man, he retaliated. He didn't want to answer a ridiculous question like that. He considered it stupid. And then, basically they prevented him from actually, donating blood for people who actually need it. So I want to get a book of Proverbs, the first chapter out. Verse, 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. Wisdom, that being, the scriptures being spoken a lot, if you will, out in the streets, because when you set up camp, you're outside, all right? You're not indoors, you're not in your backyard, you're not in your front porch, you're not in your driveway, you're not in your back alley. No, you're out where everybody can see you. She crieth in the chief places of she crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates in the city she uttereth her words, saying, which those chief places of concourse basically being these high busy places. And because Esau ain't gonna teach you correction, he's gonna teach you, these vain ass philosophies, if you will, because that's what they are. They're really vain. They all lead to death and destruction. They're all for naught. All right, there's no benefit for them. They only help you out for it's like they only work for so much, if you will. So-called work. For so much, if you will, that in the end you're through. Because everything here is temporary, man. That's why the book of Psalms, the 33rd chapter, made the mention that, fret ye not, roughly paraphrasing right there, for the prosperity of the evildoers. For they shall, wither away as flowers, roughly paraphrasing right there. But going on, it says, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? Yeah, simplicity basically meaning this low level ass thinking that these people have. They're really foolish, man. All right, an example would be Jake, how they can't think about shit for anything, man. They'd rather be talking about NFL and what happened last night at the party with Eve and whatnot, how they, how they were dancing, drinking beer. They'd rather tell you ridiculous stuff like that rather than actually tell you edifying information. Or at least he didn't actually, such as Elam, they actually got good information. All right, Moab, they actually got good information because they have proper households. Whereas Jay, they rather talk about a barbecue and just talk about a whole manner of folly. Oh, look, that's a nice woman to pop. So that's an example of simplicity. You know, likewise, in this case, applying it to right now, you know, in the situation, you know, these people at the clinic and whatnot, where it's the hospital, you know, I forget where, but the people over there, you know, the workers, you know, they were simple enough to actually prevent the dude from actually helping out the people. You know, that's why that's what to say. You know, I'm not saying it was in the book of Proverbs of 29th chapter. Verse 2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, and they will rejoice very soon when authority and proper order is set in. All right, because everything needs to be in order. But one says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Hey, see, people be mourning. Hey, just think about how many people actually die because of that. You know, just to throw that out there. But going back to Proverbs the first chapter, verse 22. 22 reads, and the scorners lie. Actually, I'm gonna read the whole thing again. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? Yeah, how long will you love the simplicity, man? Or how long will you guys stay down here in this low level that's thinking? And the scorners lie, and they're scorning, and fools hate knowledge. You guys really hate knowledge, man. You know, you guys hate correction. Yeah. You guys hate people retaliating against your base ass questions like that, man. I can get a piece of down. It'll be in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 6th chapter, verse 10, or so like in the 10th chapter, verse 6, Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter, verse 6, and it reads, so like in verse 5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun. All right, that place that he sees it, that evil that he sees under the sun is the earth. All right, you know, and the thing is going on the earth right now, as an error which proceeded from the ruler. All right, and who's a ruler right now? Esau, Edom is, and he does nothing but err. All right, the scriptures say, "Do not err, my brethren," but that's what Esau does. He errs, you know, because all these errors that basically, you know, they really bring about destruction. Folly is set in great dignity, you know, and that word dignity, dignified. If I can get down to the etymology, basically means a state of being worthy, you know, and if it's a state of being worthy, basically it's an elevated to a whole new state where people actually consider and think upon it highly. You know, the quality of being worthy of esteem or respect, formality and bearing and appearance, high office or rank or station. You know, so these people, you know, basically it's the quality of being worthy of esteem or respect. These people, you know, esteem, you know, questions like that. All right, concepts like that. So folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. You see? So, you know, this place is just completely through, man. You know, the morality is on a whole new low than it was before. And you know, all you can do is just wait for the Lord to cleanse this place out by way of, you know, ICBMs, if you will. So I'm now from the book of 1 Corinthians, because although, you know, these philosophies really stem out this place, all right, Babylon the Great, you know, they take a toll on all these other heathen countries, man. Or whether that be the conglomerate of Edomite nations in the east, such as the UK, because this is where it's taking place over there, you know, over there in Europe. You know, whether it be in other third world country, you know, such as, you know, over in India, when these, you know, they still retain certain qualities, you know, of this Americanization, if you will, you know, Westernization, you know. So going on, 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, verse 33. You know, the Lord has cleansed it, man. The Lord has cleansed this confusion, all this philosophy. But going on, it says, for Yahweh was not the author of confusion. All right, he really isn't, man. You know, confusion, that America, it's like America is known as a city confusion because, you know, if you can receive it, Babylon the Great, and that word Babylon, which Babylon is a Greek form of the word Babal, which is Hebrew for, you know, a confusion. Why? Because if you can receive, you know, back in Genesis, I forget what chapter it was, but if you understand the history, what happened was the Lord confounded the nations, you know, the languages of the nations. All right, it was confounded. That word confounded is another word for confusion. So that's why Babylon represents confusion. You know, and right now in this case, you know, it's on a whole new level, right? Confusion, you know, basically all these ordinances being backwards, like asking a ridiculous question like, if a man, have you been pregnant? All right, the only reason a so-called man, if you will, could be pregnant is because they really transitioned from a female to man. All right, that's the only reason. So to say that an actual man, you know, and reinforcing that question is just, Ridiculous. So it's like for my rambling going on. You know, I'm gonna end off right there. Another one with Esau. You know, these judgments continue to pass. And to the next one, I say Shalom.